Hey, what's up guys? John here. Some breaking news just came out, and I believe it's going to change America as a whole. It's going to change business, the entire business landscape, especially if your customer base is in the middle class. This is absolutely just unbelievable how fast the world's moving and how fast things are changing. You know, I don't share this information to spread fear. I share this information for the business owner that has a current existing business model so they can take this information in and see if there's a reason they need to modify their existing and current business model, or possibly if this completely destroys your current business model, to think about how the world's changing and form a business that will capitalize off of this change. Because this is just unbelievable. It really is, it's just like unfathomable. People come to America, they've always come to America for the opportunity. It's the land of the free, where you can come here with it's a real hard work ethic, good ideas, some brains, and you can make anything possible. Well, that is unfortunately going to be coming to a halt very, very soon. Please smash that like button, hit the like button. YouTube's going to share this content, and they're going to share this information with people that are interested in personal finance, real estate, business, and money. People that will be impacted greatly by all these changes. So please smash that like button. Let's begin. So first, the House passes a $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill to have a vast expansion of safety net. What that means is basically Big Brother goes from this to this, and they have a lot more control, and this control is going to impact us all. So how this is going to work is Washington, a divided House on Tuesday, approved a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint that would pave the way for vast expansion of safety, social net, and climate programs as Democrats overcame sharp internal rifts to advance a critical piece of Biden's ambitious domestic agenda. Approving the budget was a major step in Democrats' drive to enact their top priorities, including huge investments in education, childcare, healthcare, paid leave, and tax increases on wealthy people and corporations over united Republican opposition. With a single vote on Tuesday, they laid the groundwork to move quickly on legislation that would accomplish these goals, setting a late September deadline for action on a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. But it came only after leaders stamped out a revolt among conservative-leaning Democrats who withheld their votes until they extracted the promise to vote on the infrastructure bill by September 27th. The breakthrough came after pressure campaigned by the White House outside progressive groups and Nancy Pelosi of California, who haggled and cajoled her way to unanimous Democratic support for a measure that has stalled more hours before. The vote 220 to 212 on party lines to approve a budget plan and allow future votes on both infrastructure bill and voting rights measures the White House passed. While the budget plan, which passed Senate this month, does not have a forced law, it allows Democrats to move forward with a fast-track process known as reconciliation that would enshrine the details of the blueprint and legislation that is shielded from filibuster, allowing to pass over the objections of Republicans. It is expected to include universal preschool, paid family leave, federal support for child care and elder care, an expansion of Medicare, and a broad effort to tackle climate change, all paid for through tax increases on high earners and companies. It is expected to include universal preschool, paid family leave, and federal support for child care and elder care, an expansion of Medicare, and a broad effort to tackle climate change, all paid for through tax increases on high earners and companies. So a lot of people will see that and say, okay, good. So the high income earners are finally going to pay their fair share, and the 99% are going to benefit for once. However, that's not at all the case. So look at what is actually happening with this. So Biden had a fact check that came out that said they're going to protect 97% of small business owners from income tax increases while delivering tax cuts to more than 3.9 million entrepreneurs. But according to a tax foundation, U.S. businesses currently remit around 93% of all taxes collected in the U.S., thus funneling money to just about all federal programs. During the last administration, tax cuts went from 35% to 21%, but listen to this. Even more concerning is the fact that the U.S. economy is still bouncing out of the pandemic impacted market that saw small business hammered with shutdowns and diminished operations. While the fact sheet issued by the White House sounds rosy, the SBE Council claims that the numbers are all off base, as the president states that only 900,000 small businesses may face higher taxes. 900,000 small businesses. According to the SBE Council chief economist Raymond J. Ketting, the estimated 900K businesses that will be paying more in taxes is actually far higher. In fact, more than 2 times. To quote the advocacy group that supports entrepreneurs, the White House is simply ignoring the fact that most C corporations are small businesses. The Small Business Administration defines small businesses as having fewer than 500 employees. It turns out 99.89% of employer corporations based on the latest Census Bureau data have fewer than 500 employees. That's 933,000 businesses facing a tax increase. Second, what about the non-employer corporations? There are, again, based on the latest Census Bureau data, another 379,000 of those businesses would have a tax increase. Third, if we accept the White House's assertion that 2.6% of pass-through small businesses would directly face a tax increase, that's about 790,000 businesses. So based on these numbers, at least 2.1 million small businesses would be facing higher taxes directly under Biden's plan. So we have this huge modifications happening through Big Brother, as well as massive taxes on small business. So it's not going to be, the big corporations that are going to be writing all these checks. No, it's going to be small mom and pop businesses. But you ask, how can they stay in business? They've been incurring so many losses, especially the last 18 months. Well, now what's interesting is what's happening in Afghanistan. We're going to be taking in 30,000 Afghan refugees, and they're going to stay in locations like Fort McCoy in Wisconsin and Fort Bliss in Texas. So 30,000, right? Okay, so 30,000. Then what we look at is Airbnb saying that they're going to step in and they're going to offer accommodations for 20,000. So they're going to offer accommodations for 20,000. I'm not sure if it's going to be the full 20,000 in America or if it's going to be 20,000 globally. But to me, it seems like it's going to be America, because I was listening to his interview, and he said that they reached out to the Biden administration. The Biden administration said that let's cooperate together, let's work together on this. So they're bringing in 30,000 refugees, 20,000 of which Airbnb is going to assist. Then what we look at is the migrant chart from 2019 to 2021, the lift in how many people have encounters at the southwestern border have soared in recent months. So we have a problem. The big problem is going to be that we can't even take care of really our own people, especially if we look at the eviction moratorium and forbearances and the state of the actual economy. If there was not all of these provisions and protections in place, we'd be in a real bad spot. But then what's fascinating to me is I ask myself, well, what jobs, let's say, because they are intending to keep them here. It says an internal displaced Afghan girl sits outside a box. Let's see here. A Fox News correspondent cited an unnamed source saying 30,000 Afghans could be relocated to the U.S. soon. These Afghans are under special immigrant visas given to those who worked for the U.S. And so they're going to likely end up staying here. It says this is according to a report from Jakil Hendrich, a Fox News White House correspondent. Hendrich cited documents obtained from an unnamed source department, which she said it shows the U.S. plans to bring 30,000 Afghans in the immediate future. The upcoming Afghans will be those applied for special immigrant visas. These visas are given to those employed by or on behalf of the U.S. government. This includes individuals who are interpreters, translators for the U.S. military, many of whom could be in immediate danger following the Taliban's impending takeover of the country. So we're going to have a lot of people that we're going to be taking care of in America. And we can't even take care of our own people. So what I ask myself is, what jobs would people that are relocating from other countries that don't have a financial support system, what jobs would they be going into? Probably the service industry, I would imagine. I would imagine probably food, fast food, face-to-face human interaction, those businesses, right? Well, What's interesting is I was reading this article here. We've all heard of Sweetgreens, right? Well, they just acquired a new company called Spice, and this company is a full-fledged robotics firm where essentially the robots prepare the food. After they prepare it, they put it on a conveyor belt and it just goes straight to the customer. So it's like a ghost kitchen to where they don't even need employees. You ask yourself, how many people in America work for these fast food chains? 4.959 million people, right? So what we're going to see likely to happen is we're going to see a lot of people inside of the fast food industry and the service industry jobs getting wiped out as we especially incorporate this with increased taxes on small business and more restrictions and regulations. So as this all unfolds, we have to ask ourselves, what's going to happen? To me, what it looks like it's going to happen is that we're going to be stepping into a situation where the middle class likely steps into a really, really bad spot. And we have this, two-tier type system where it's not the 1%, like the 0.05% up here, and then the 99.5% are below. But, it's fascinating how they package this as this is something that, they're doing for us and everything is going to be great. But we have to ask ourselves, the affordability crisis is a real problem. And I think the American dream and the way that we once seen America is very likely to change as all of this kind of unravels over the next, 6 to 12 months. I think that ghost kitchens, robotics, all this that's happening inside of, fast food, I think this is likely to unroll and be in our faces the next, 2 years or less. It's going to happen fast. It's going to happen really fast. Think about how profitable your business would be if you had no employees, none. You just paid for robotics and they prepared the food, and you had someone that maybe just came and serviced them when they needed repair. That's going to be the ideal business model. Corporations are going to take over. So it's fascinating. It's a very interesting time. So again, I don't share this information to be a downer. I just share this information so we can take this information in to make smart financial decisions and be prepared for what's coming, because it's here. It's here. I mean, this is front page news. But unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people are ignoring it, pretending like, oh, this is nothing. America's fine. Everything's great. This is 2019 all over again. I think we see big changes. What do you guys think? Drop your comments below. Please smash that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content. Again, I keep saying it, but it's going to educate more people. Also, consider subscribing on this channel as well as my second channel. I'm going to leave the links pinned down below in the top comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.